way in October last year. His experience had led him to write this book with the aim of drawing attention to insecurity challenges in Nigeria and a sustainable way of confronting them. He identified structural, funding, logistics, and intelligence gathering as challenges facing effective security operations and wants all arms of government to cooperate to find a lasting solution.
We only are advisory. We give advice, we plan strategies, but it's up to the government to implement.
The book reviewer noted that the publication will assist security experts in checkmating criminals before they strike.
It's a lesson for us as a country to tackle our situations and do the right things.
Notable Nigerians at the book launch spoke on ways of checking insecurity in the country.
Law enforcement agencies and the populace must wake up against what is going on.
The whole society must work together, and there must be harmony. It's not left to the security agencies alone.
The book, Kidnapped Face to Face with Death, also gives readers tips on how not to fall victims of kidnapping, survival techniques if held captive, and other ways of defending oneself when in danger of attack by kidnappers. In Lagos, Dechido, NTA News.
And with that report, we wrap up our contribution from Lagos. Back to you, Ronke, in Abuja for more on Nationwide News.
Thank you, Jennifer. Solutions to human problems are usually sourced through research development, which provides clues and process of attaining socio-economic heights. Against this background, the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, in its drive to enhance research work in Nigeria, is providing training for researchers with a view to raising their level of awareness on intellectual property, generation, protection and management. Kirian Umeayo reports.
Declaring the workshop open, Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Abdul Bulama noted that the training is apt as many Nigerian researchers have little understanding of intellectual property issues, which has led to the loss of intellectual property assets. He said that speedy industrialization of the country and its economic growth depends largely on the efforts of researchers.
The relationship between the industry, the private sector, and the research institute and the university is not as strong. The bond is not as strong as it should be. The partnership should be stronger, should be better. And this is the emphasis of the new policy of science, technology, innovation, that there must be greater synergy, greater coordination of science and technology activities in the country.
Director General of NOTAP, Dr. Omar Bindel, says that raising awareness on intellectual property in the nation's institutions and turning them into centers of economic activities will bring about research-driven transformation of the industrial sector.
The essence of this workshop is actually to provide a platform, to provide information, training, skills and competencies for us to understand that generating the knowledge they generate has to transform to useful solutions, which is called intellectual property.
It is also hoped that the workshop will prepare researchers on how to relate with the industry for the uptake of their intellectual property for commercial use and eventual job creation. In Abuja, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2015 general elections, stakeholders are exploring ways towards achieving a violence-free polls. This is happening through advocacy campaigns involving major key players. Good Morning Nigeria, NTA's current affairs program, is one of such forums where guests bared their minds on how to achieve violence-free electioneering period. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
One of the ways to achieve a free, fair, acceptable and violence-free elections, the guests say, is for politicians to desist from the use of thugs at every stage of the electioneering process.
Public enlightenment on television, on radio, in newspapers, to say that this thing is bad. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't take you anywhere. Look for something good to do. Don't forget political theory is a temporary engagement. And oftentimes, after I've used Kinsler and Claire, and I've gone to them, my lines are no longer accessible.
Thugs are people who are never do well in time pass, garage boys. But I'm saying they have also gone digital. There are graduates who just went through school, this kind of schools we have now, where people just go through it, get a degree, they don't have jobs, they probably have been caught before, they've done things, and they think, okay, we can apply this knowledge in addition to our thug nature.
To achieve an electoral violence-free elections, they called on all stakeholders to play the game of politics in accordance with the guidelines.
If the law enforcement agencies are allowed to do their work the way they thought to do it, we won't have any problem. But there's so much political interference. I'm also talking from personal experience. Out of my 35 years service in the force, we've had cases where officers are arrested some of these stuff with weapons. What happens? A phone call comes through. A phone call comes through, and they get released.
People try to snatch ballot boxes. People try to even divert election materials from INEC office when it's coming. So every politician will hire his thugs to go and protect those items. So in dealing with it, government must guarantee that materials will get to the polling unit, and that when you vote, results will be announced serially from that unit as INEC has so claimed.
We need to challenge our fellow youth to not be used for the wrong reasons. There is so much space for all of us on the right side of things. We have called on them to go volunteer with, for instance, TMG member organizations and be election observers.
Nigeria, they agreed, is endowed with enormous human potential that should be transformed as agents of positively impacting on the sustainability of the nation's democracy instead of adopting them as agents of destruction. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party says, contrary to false media reports, the Ebonyi State House of Assembly primaries was conducted successfully. In a statement, the National Publicity Secretary, PDP, Olisametu, says the result has since been received by the National Secretariat in Abuja. In the meantime, a special three-man reconciliation committee has been set up to reconcile all major stakeholders of the state to achieve desired unity. The committee comprises Governors Godswill Akpabio, Theodore Oji, and Ayo Fayoshi of Ekiti State. Akwa Ibom State Governor Chief Godswill Akpabio has described the peaceful conduct of the just concluded House of Assembly primaries in the state as a sign of victory for the party in the 2015 general elections. He stated this shortly after he had participated in his ward at Ukana Ikotun in Eastern Udim local government area. Jenny Bassi has the report.
And peaceful, stressing that it is a legacy to the credit of the leadership of PDP. The governor said PDP as a party has provided a level playing field and conducive environment for transparent, free primaries, a signal of good fortune for PDP come 2015 general elections where true democracy will be practiced.
I'm very delighted that for the first time in the history of democracy in Nigeria and in my state, the issue of money politics was totally eliminated. People just went out there to exercise their conscience and to vote according to the dictates of their conscience. And I'm delighted that it went peacefully, and it was very transparent, and the reports are sick.
The state chairman of PDP, Obong Polekpo, said 819 aspirants were cleared for primaries of the State House of Assembly, noting that the result received indicates that most popular candidates emerged the winner.
So the 819 people stood for election today, and I'm happy that the result coming in had shown that the candidates who are popular in those areas emerge the winner.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has set up an appeal committee to listen to complaints and petitions of aggrieved candidates. In Uyo, Jenny Bassi, NTA News.
Former minister joins governorship race. Let's link up with Lydia in our Makudi Network Center for details of this and more.
Thanks, Ronke. Welcome to Makudi. A former Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs and Chairman, Board of Directors of Upper Niger River Basin Development Authority, Mr. Sam Ode, has formally declared his intention to contest the Benue State governorship seat on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2015. At a formal ceremony to mark the event in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, the governorship aspirant Sam Ode unveiled a 5-point agenda in his development blueprint. Correspondent Goni Nalegu has the details.
Mr. Sam Ode said he was motivated to offer himself for service as the governor of Benue State on account of both the late foundations and challenges of governance and development.
My intention is to fortify the foundations in tune with the contemporary reality, particularly in tune with the demands of the 21st century realities, and also to radically confront the challenges that have undermined our march to greatness and development.
On agriculture, he explained that his administration's agricultural philosophy will be premised on massive commercial farming, land clearing agency, and establishment of one agricultural training center in each of the 3 senatorial districts in Benue State. He also promised to reposition the local government system through reforms to enable it to properly play its role in the development process. In Makurdi, Godwin Inalibu, NTA News.
Following the advocacy for women to seek elective offices, a female governorship aspirant under the ticket of the People's Democratic Party, Mrs. Ada Chenge, has been cleared by the PDP screening committee in Abuja to participate in the 2015 governorship election in Benue State. Correspondent John Yaku has details.
Figures made available to NTA News indicate that in Benue State, 11 female aspirants have so far picked their nomination forms contesting for various offices in the forthcoming election under the All Progressive Congress (APC), while 25 female aspirants are contesting various positions on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The governorship aspirant, Mrs. Ada Chenge, was received by party supporters amidst cheers in her house. Addressing supporters, Mrs. Ada Chenge described the screening exercise as free and fair. Mrs. Ada Chenge also urged women to come out in their numbers to vote people of their choice.
This is a season of women. This is the season of mothers. This is a season where unity is paramount in Benue State.
The female governorship aspirant also advised youth to be of good conduct while urging politicians to be prayerful, trusting God that all will be well for the interest of the people and the nation. In Makurdi, John Yaku, NTA News.
Away from Makurdi, Taraba State Secretariat of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has organized a sensitization lecture for core members who will be eventually involved in the forthcoming elections. The lecture is in pursuance of a memorandum of understanding entered between the INEC and NYSC to improve the electoral process. Correspondent Ado Adamu also has details.
In pursuance of the objective of improving the Nigerian electoral process, the Taraba State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission has organized a sensitization lecture for core members at the State NYSC Orientation Camp Jalingo. Presenting a paper, the resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Austin Oni-Okoje, said INEC is an electoral management body, has the responsibility of sensitizing the public on its mandate to conduct free, fair and acceptable elections, which he said is a collective responsibility. On safety of ad hoc staff during elections, which include core members, Mr. Austin Okoje noted that security operatives and election support organizations are networking, pointing out that efforts have always been in place of credible and violent-free elections. The Taraba State Coordinator, National Youth Service Corps, Mr. Freeman Tumbakwaya, appreciated INEC for the sensitization lecture, stressing that the NYSC as a partner in the Nigerian project is passionate about having an acceptable election as a panacea for peace and development in the country. Core members during an interactive session described the lecture as rewarding, emphasizing that the event has clarified gray areas in terms of election management. In Jalingo, Eduardo Molso, NTA News.
The Nigerian police has pledged its resolve to prevent and find lasting solution to communal clashes across the country. Chairman of a committee set up by the police to manage this crisis in the country, Assistant Inspector General of Police Christopher Dega, stated this when the committee visited Benue State. Correspondent Bem Hanya reports.
Early this year,
Benue State witnessed a series of attacks that destroyed many lives and property worth millions of naira. Consequently, the federal and Benue State governments made concerted efforts to end the carnage, which has led to the peace that is now prevailing in the state. It is to further consolidate the peace that the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, mandated a committee comprising 5 Assistant Inspectors General of Police and 1 Commissioner of Police to liaise with various communities in the country towards putting an end to this crisis. The committee, while in Otukpo, was received by the Ochidoma, His Royal Highness Agabaidu Elias Ikoyi Obekpa, who was represented by the Odejo Kappa. On a similar visit to Boko, the committee was received by some traditional rulers as well as other stakeholders.
We covered a lot of ground, a lot of scope, and I believe that when the necessary recommendations come and they are implemented, the essence of the whole committee will have been achieved.
Also present were representatives of some neighboring communities in Cross River State. From Boko local government area of Benue State, Ben Hanya, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide from Makudi. Ronke, to take it from here.
Thank you, Lydia. And now to health matters. Apart from the threat of HIV/AIDS and Ebola epidemic, there are other dangerous, if not more deadly diseases silently ravaging the world. One of such is viral hepatitis. Correspondent Nancy Godi Anuniku was at the commencement of a 4-day consultative and development of the National HIV/AIDS Sexually Transmitted Infectious Control Program meant to draw a policy and strategic plan on viral hepatitis. Her report.
Hepatitis is a viral infection that causes liver inflammation. It can be contracted through blood transfusion and sexual intercourse, among others. NASCOP's mandate is to reduce the mobility and mortality rates of hepatitis B and C, which are most deadly, being blood-borne.
17 to 18 million people in the country affected nationally, and that is quite disturbing.
It's one of the diseases that you can prevent, especially now that we have the pentavalent vaccine.
Nigeria, as a part of the global hepatitis partners, adopted the WHO 4-modeled axis for the control of viral hepatitis, but the non-availability of a policy in this regard, NASCOP says, has hampered full implementation.
Nigeria truly is on the forefront of the global approach to the control of hepatitis.
NASCOP will look at prevention strategies, screening, diagnosis, treatment, surveillance, monitoring and evaluation.
In the community, we should be looking at specialized groups that require screening, and this would include pregnant women, groups of persons with high-risk sexual behavior.
Nancy Godiangunihu, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We have some messages for you.
Give us light, give us food, give us house, give us school with good Lord Jonathan. Our country don't better. Oh, hey.
The issue of gender policy and female participation in politics is a focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, informative, interactive, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation
into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons in Christmas carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Lars Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time, 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678.
0803-704-3300.
Or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols.
Making Christmas memorable for you.
Shopee has ensured the reconstruction of the Abuja Lokoja Road and the East-West Road in Port Harcourt.
The standard gauge rail tracks from Abuja to Kaduna and Lagos to Kano indicates that our trains are coming back.
The second Niger Bridge in the southeast and the local Oweto Bridge in the north central are in progress, thanks to Shopee.
Shopee's mass transit program has made transportation easier for Nigerians.
Shopee has rehabilitated over 1,000 health centers across Nigeria.
Shopee has provided mama kits to pregnant women, and polio is on the verge of eradication.
Shopee has also ensured the provision of social amenities, and through its various training programs for young people, guarantees a better future.
Shopee, delivering service with integrity.
Transformation ambassadors of Nigeria.
My good people of Nigeria, does anybody use mirror to look at what they have at hand? No! Good luck at the ingredients of life. Automobile industries, full encouragement. Second Niger Bridge from Mirai to reality.
Good luck!
Railways, seaports and airports are come back to modern life.
Good luck!
Or a Benin highway and other federal highways from dead trap to modern spectacle.
Good luck!
There you are. Petrol and nyaf with control price and so many other etc. Good luck I do. Good luck are going to do. And good luck will be yours. Are you see what I'm saying? Only good luck affects the security challenges of Nigeria with honesty and commitment, fighting terrorism to a halt.
Make good luck continue for Nigeria.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. Time for one vision, Nigeria.
Thanks for being there. Child educators from 4 geopolitical zones are attending a workshop on the use of indigenous values and materials to enhance the identity of the Nigerian child. Frank Azoma Olua reports that the event is organized by the National Commission for College of Education in Abuja.
The workshop is in response to the various criticisms on teachers' inability to effectively deliver instructions at the pre-primary level. The objective is to build the capacity of teacher educators on best global practice of training using developed indigenous models.
We have made adequate preparation for the production of teachers for early childhood and care education by coming up with a new NCE program dedicated to early childhood and care education for the training of teachers.
The training is expected to enhance the performance of teacher educators in the classrooms.
With economic empowerment and the need to make ends meet, more mothers are out there working. What happens to their children? What happens to the traditional role of the mothers? And so we will end up bringing children to life and not preparing them for life. And so this kind of culturally relevant early childhood care and education becomes available for mothers, especially young parents.
Participants from the Southeast, South-South, Southwest and Northeast geopolitical zones are attending the 4-day workshop. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
Following the incidents of insurgency in some parts of the country, orientation for 2014 Batch C Stream 2 is ongoing in only 7 NYSC camps across the country. Director of Core Mobilization NYSC, Anthony Ani, disclosed this during the swearing-in ceremony for the batch in the FCT at the NYSC FCT orientation camp in Kubwa. Olayinka Ojo has that report.
One scheme that has continued to illuminate the path of success and national growth and development is the NYSC. But the scheme is also not without its challenges. To surmount some of them with reference to orientation and why 7 camps are participating in the 2014 Batch C Stream 2 exercise, NYSC Director of Core Mobilization Anthony Ani speaks.
The states where you had state of emergency, Yobe, Borno and Adamawa, those ones we are not having their orientation, they had to go to other states. The number of core members we mobilized and deployed, they are more than the capacity of the camps. And because the present DG said he does not want any core member to be inconvenienced, so some people had to wait behind and then come in the second one.
The swearing-in ceremony for the youth corps members saw over 2,000 who met the criteria of registration take their oath of allegiance. Fielding questions on whether any corps member did not meet the necessary registration process in the FCT, Coordinator of NYSC FCT, Alawo Oladipekun, said only a case of discrepancy in the biometric was discovered.
Once the system rejects your thumbprint, it is very clear that you are not the one that thumbprinted, after it has been subjected to all other checks.
What did the NYSC do?
You are to present something for you to be accepted somewhere, and you cannot present it, you can't deliver, so you cannot be welcome there.
FCT Minister of State Olajumoke Akinjide represented gave the assurance that the FCT administration remained committed to the success and programs of the scheme.
We also remain committed to promoting the security and general welfare of core members serving within the territory.
In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
And still on education, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Professor Ibrahim Ujodi, has warned that the institution would not tolerate cultism, drug abuse and other social vices by students. Professor Ujodi said this at the matriculation of newly admitted students. Correspondent Lami Ali completes the report.
Addressing the students who gained admission into the University of Maiduguri as the matriculation ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ibrahim Jodi, advised that since the university is a place meant for the advancement of knowledge, the students should pursue their learning with the kind of seriousness it deserves. He urged the students to be of good conduct by adhering to laid down rules and regulations and assured that authorities of the university will do all within their power to maintain law and order. Registrar of the university, Malam Babagana Muhammad Aji, administered the oath on the newly admitted students.
A regulation of the university and to obey
6,250 students gained admission into the University of Maiduguri through the direct entry and university tertiary matriculation examination for the 2013-2014 academic session. They will undergo various degree programs under the 11 faculties of the university. In Maiduguri, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Security agencies meet as FRSA flags off Ember Month campaign. Chinyere has the details of this and more from Enugu Network Center.
Thank you, Ramke, and welcome. The federal government has been charged to introduce a national policy for the growth of indigenous technology, which will encourage entrepreneurship for total transformation of technology in Nigeria. The national president, Nigerian Association of Technologists in Engineering, Dr. Leo Okereke, stated this at the 31st Conference of Technologists in Enugu. Ijoma Ugweke has the report.
Which has as its theme technology and national development, was organized for practicing engineers in Nigeria to brainstorm and chart new ways of moving technology forward in Nigeria. The president of the association said the association, since its inception, has recorded several achievements in checking quacks in the profession.
Our mission is to use technologies to generate employment that will create wealth among the citizenry.
The chairman of the occasion, Chief Leo Oforom, called for improvement in the study of technology in primary and secondary schools to sharpen technical thinking, imagination, and creativity. In his paper titled Implementation of Government Policies on Technical and Vocational Education and Its Effect on Economic Development, Professor Lawrence Onukube advocated the training of teachers and provision of funds and equipment for vocational and technical education. The unveiling of a 108-page book written in honor of Dr. Leo Okereke and presentation of awards to distinguished personalities formed highlights of the event. In Enugu, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress presidential aspirant and former president Atiku Abubakar has restated his commitment to tackle insurgency in the country if given the mandate. He made this known during his visit to party members in Enugu. Chimobi Walter Naji has details of this report.
Vice President Atiku Abubakar said his visit to Enugu was to acquaint himself with the terrain and meet with the party caucus members in the state to strategize for the party ahead of the 2015 general elections. Speaking to journalists in the state, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said his desire to vie for the seat of the presidency is to bring balance to the country, both politically, religiously, and otherwise, and to help ensure security of lives and property. He said the peaceful coexistence of citizens in the country is paramount in his agenda.
There are very many fundamental changes that, first of all, the APC as a party will want to see in Nigeria. First of all, it will want to see a true federal system, of government introduced in Nigeria. In other words, the power should devolve more to the states, than the federation.
Other stakeholders who received him in Enugu said the party has come to ensure that Nigeria runs a viable two-party system to ensure accountability and progress in the country. They said the issue of insurgency in the country can be tackled through proper equipment of the military with necessary arms to fight terrorism. In Enugu, Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
In preparation for the 2015 general elections, the Anambra State Police Command has held a workshop with other security agencies to enhance their capacity for adequate security during the period. Ngozi Okafor reports.
Under the auspices of the Anambra State Commissioner of Police, Hosea Hassan Kama, the meeting was organized with the aim of understanding and working together as a team to achieve the same goal of crime-free, fair and successful elections in 2015. Anticipating challenges like rigging, political violence, thuggery, arson and wanton destruction of lives and property that may come up during the election, the security agencies agreed to employ standard use of force to bring every abnormal situation under control. Participants were also taken through the roles of law enforcement officers as stipulated in the Electoral Act as they explored the need to remain non-partisan and to avoid any situation that can jeopardize their position.
Should there be violence, what are the steps needed to be taken? And we discussed and agreed among ourselves the standard use of force.
The State Chief Superintendent of Immigration, Modu Ifani, on his part added that the recent raid of local governments to mop up illegal immigrants in Anambra State is all in a bid to check crime during the electioneering process. Other security agencies represented at the meeting are the military, civil defense, DSS, Federal Road Safety Corps, and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, among others. In Oka, Ngozi Okafo, NTA News.
As countdown to the Yuletide in the southeast begins, the Federal Road Safety Commission has stressed the need for obedience to traffic rules and regulations to forestall road accidents. Chinyere Fesi Okoro reports that this was the message during the flag off of the Anambra State Sector Command 2014 Ember Month campaign. The
Anambra State Governor Chief Willie Obiano, represented by the Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Chumambono, charged road users to complement the efforts of FRSC in their fight to reduce carnage on the road.
December time is a very trying period. We don't want to see anybody spill his blood or her blood on the road. Anybody who is alive today, I pray by the grace of God, will also be alive to see 2015.
The Zonal Commanding Officer, Zone 5 Benin, Charles Ababiu, says the zone has put all machinery in motion for people to drive to stay alive this season and beyond.
We intend to pull out close to 4,000 of our personnel, including special marshals, on the corridors, the 5 corridors that link into and out of the 3 states. We intend to pull not less than 50 patrol vehicles with 14 ambulances, with 10 towing trucks.
Sector Commander FRSC Anambra State Command, Mr. Sunday Ajayi, and some stakeholders who witnessed the flag-off exercise emphasized the need for road users to be patient while using the road. With the theme, road safety is a shared responsibility. It depends on you. Governor's representative joined FRSC and other stakeholders to pass road safety messages to road users through flyers and other tools. In Oka, Chinyere Fesi Okoye, NTA News.
And that's the much we'll have for you from here. It's back to you, Ronke.
Thank you. And now sports with Fisayo Ogunfuyi.
Coach of the national under-20 team, Manu Gaba, has formally kicked off preparations for the 19th African Youth Championship at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium with a 2-month camping program. The FIFA Under-17 World Cup winning coach has 30 players to perfect strategies with in Kaduna for 2 months before the team embarks on a final training camp in February 2015. In a related development, the national under-23 men's football team technical crew continues to prune down players in camp, with head coach Samson Siasia expressing satisfaction with the quality displayed by some of the players.
You have to give everybody a chance, and that's what we're doing. We don't want to say, oh, I don't have one godfather. No, there's no godfather. If you can play, that's it. So you come and show yourself.
Barcelona forward Lionel Messi, German goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, and 2013 winner Portuguese forward Cristiano Ronaldo are in a 3-way battle for this year's Ballon d'Or prize. The 3 men were chosen from an initial 23-man list. The World Player of the Year award will be announced in Zurich on the 12th of January 2015. The table tennis event of this year's Sport Writers Association of Nigeria Swan FCT chapter, Sports Week, has entered the semi-final at the Package B of the Abuja National Stadium. 16 ping-pongers from different media organizations started the race, which will end on Wednesday to give way to the football event.
We want to tell people that what we write, what we speak, we can also do it. And that is exactly what you are seeing here.
I've got the energy, I've got the skills, and I've got the age on my side. So what else is winning the trophy again?
The Swan Week will climax on Friday with a gala night. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
It is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. We thank you for joining us on Nationwide. 5 p.m. is another news slot. Do stay with us. I am Ronke Kolawole. Good evening.